Dobry wieczór wszystkim. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm Mysticle and I'm going to be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. As usual, you have chapters down below to skip to any specific part of this video that you might be most interested in, and with that being said, let's get right into it. So the first thing here is actually something quite interesting in the Ray-Ban market, as Meta's smart Ray-Bans are apparently currently the best-selling Ray-Ban product in many Ray-Ban stores. So these glasses are actually something I am really excited for and seriously like. Too bad they're not available in my country. So if I wanted to get these, I would have to import them in some way. Ray-Ban Meta glasses are the top-selling product in 60%, that's a whole 60% of Ray-Ban stores in EMEA. EMEA is a geographical region encompassing Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, typically used as a global division by companies. The revelation comes from EssilorLuxottica's CFO, Stefano Grassi, on the company's Q3 2024 earnings call. EssilorLuxottica is Ray-Ban's parent company, which has a near monopoly on the eyewear market worldwide and also owns iconic brands like Oakley. So there you guys go. In case you were wondering how well these glasses are selling and how well smart glasses are doing in general, apparently, in a company that has a monopoly on eyewear, these are selling best in a whole 60% of stores in the EMEA. On another topic, we've got the Quest 4 coming along with possible eye tracking. So there appears to be another survey kind of thing going around by Meta for the Quest 4. Now, this used to be done online. It seems to be an in-person thing now, and I'm not entirely certain whether the way that I am portraying it is correct. Here is how Upload VR portrays it. A request for focus group testers of a new Meta device might reveal Quest 4 features. The listing on user interviews spotted by VR enthusiast Luna is titled Project Pismo, opportunity to test new tech on site, SF Bay Area, and the location is listed as a Meta building in Burlingame, California. Update: around 6 hours after this article's publication, the listing was taken down, and the screenshot going above me right now is so that you can see what the listing looked like before it was taken down. The listing describes a wearable tech device that will record their facial expressions and eye movements, as well as voice capture. The title is particularly interesting because, according to a July report from The Information, Pismo is the codename for an in-development Quest 4 family of headsets, consisting of a budget model and a premium model codenamed Pismo Low and Pismo High. So this is incredibly interesting. We've just got the Quest 3S, and now we are already getting leaks on a possible Quest 4. Now, the Quest 4 is probably going to come at the Connect event next year, so it's nowhere close to us. However, it might also be another device that Meta decides to release apart from Connect events. They've done this before with the first Quest and the Rift S, so who isn't to say that this isn't their plan again? This would definitely be something that I would be interested in, and especially if they add eye and face tracking to it again from the Quest Pro, since no device has had it since the Quest Pro, and they aren't planning on producing the Quest Pro anymore. It makes sense for them to have a more premium device with these features. So supposedly the Pismo Low might not have these features, and then Pismo High, might be the kind of prosumer device with eye and face tracking. Would certainly be pretty nice to see on a headset coming from Meta, along with standalone full body trackers as well. The Meta Interaction SDK that we spoke about in a previous video apparently now also supports Unreal Engine and headsets that aren't Meta's, so you might very soon start seeing Meta's Interaction SDK show up on other devices in other apps as well. So that's pretty cool. You're going to be able to, see something familiar in possibly a device that has nothing to do with Meta, or maybe even in PC VR. Meta's Interaction SDK now supports Unreal Engine, and the Unity version now supports non-Meta headsets. The Meta Interaction SDK provides standard, common hand interactions and elements that support controllers and hand tracking. The SDK includes direct object grabbing and holding, distance grabbing, pokeable 2D and 3D buttons, teleportation, gesture control, and since the latest version even includes the Horizon OS UI set, a high-level UI framework that by default matches the system theme. The SDK prevents developers from having to reinvent the wheel and implement basic interactions, and users from having to relearn interactions between apps that use it. It's very cool seeing Meta actually open this up to other headsets as well. well, is if we had a unified framework that worked on basically everything, it would make things a lot easier, not just for developers, but for users too, as when they buy a new device, they wouldn't have to relearn things. Now, that isn't to say Meta's current way of doing things is perfect, it's far from it, but they are getting much, much better. So this is really cool to see, and props to Meta for actually opening this up. Doom 3 on Quest will very soon get a PBR update, which will give it much better graphics and DLC support. Team Beef has announced a Halloween update for Doom 3 Quest, the unofficial VR port of Doom 3. It will bring PBR, physically based rendering shaders, to Doom 3 Quest. This rendering technique enhances the realism of textures and materials by simulating the way light reacts with surfaces in a more physically accurate way, taking into account properties such as roughness, reflectivity, and mirroring. So overall, it should make things look a lot better and more realistic, which in VR, if you ask me, is a pretty big deal. Players will be able to toggle between the normal shaders and PBR shaders on the fly and adjust the strength of the effect in settings. So you will be able to make it the way you like it. That's actually pretty cool. It's very often shaders are either on or off, so that's really interesting. According to Team Beef, the PBR shaders have little to no impact on performance and should also work on Quest 2. Of course, Doom 3 Quest looks most impressive on Quest 3 and Quest 3S. The Halloween update also adds support for the Resurrection of Evil expansion pack. This adds another 6 hours of gameplay to the 10 or so hours of the base game. As with all Team Beef VR ports, you must own the original games, of course, and copy the assets over to your Meta Quest before you can play this game. So that's really cool. Nice to see them upgrading it. I feel like I've said this pretty much all the videos we've had recently, but I love seeing these developers upgrade titles that you already have access to and make them work better on hardware that can support it. What isn't really cool is Minecraft removing its Bedrock support on PC VR. Mojang revealed the news in the latest Bedrock changelog. The game currently supports Oculus Rift headsets, Quest Link, and Windows MR headsets on PC, though the Rift/Link version was delisted for new users in 2021. It comes 1 month after Mojang announced it will do so for PlayStation VR support, after arriving as a free update 4 years ago that's also being removed on the PS4 after March of 2025, and the newly released PS5 version doesn't include the PlayStation VR 2 support. This doesn't mean you can't play Minecraft PC VR at all though. As a matter of fact, I'd say it was probably better to use the Java mods to play VR anyway, as they are really fleshed out at this point, and they work really well. I'd say you have a lot more features there anyway, and a lot more control over the way you want to do things. So this isn't like super terrible news, because you can still do it through Minecraft Java, but in case you were playing the VR version of Bedrock on your PC after March, that will very soon be gone. So yeah, I feel pretty bad for the Bedrock users, but you still have that Java version there for you. What's also quite interesting is the fact that Apple could supposedly stop Vision Pro production by the end of this year. So Apple told Vision Pro's manufacturer it might ask them to stop Vision Pro production by the end of this year, the information reports. That does not, however, mean that Apple will stop selling the Vision Pro before a new Vision headset is available. Major electronics companies typically produce significant volumes of stock in advance, and the report cites employees at 3 component suppliers as saying they have built enough for between 500,000 and 600,000 Vision Pro headsets to date. The report suggests the production stop will be due to low demand. However, that figure is exactly in line with what the information itself, the Financial Times, the Elec, and supply chain analyst Min-Chi Kuo said before Vision Pro's launch was the number of micro OLED display pairs Sony could produce per year, the limiting factor for the headset's production scale and the main contributor of its cost. A few days ago, Tim Cook said this about the Apple Vision Pro to the Wall Street Journal. At $3,500, it's not a mass market product, which, I mean, I'm happy he realizes it. That makes perfect sense. It's like buying a phone for $3.5K. Yes, this can do a lot more, but that is still a price way over what basically any other company on the market is offering. Right now, it's an early adopter product. People who want to have tomorrow's technology today. That's who it's for. Fortunately, there's enough people who are in that camp that it's exciting. I'm happy to see he's still excited for it, even after supposedly there is a low demand, but I wouldn't necessarily call 500 to 600,000 low demand if they manage to sell all that additional stock, especially for a device at this price. And finally, we're gonna end this off on something quite random, but Vimeo now has a Vision Pro app. Wow, we got a Vimeo app on the Vision Pro before we got a YouTube app. That is actually quite funny. That makes Vimeo the first major content platform to support spatial video, Apple's term for stereoscopic 3D video using the Apple HEVC stereo video profile format. Oh yeah, because they also support stereoscopic 3D video. It's not just that they have an app, they also support spatial video, which is, I mean, that is so cool. Spatial video can be captured on all iPhone 16 models, the iPhone 15 Pro models, and the Apple Vision Pro itself. Creators can now upload these spatial videos to Vimeo via the iOS app, Vision OS app, or Vimeo website, and they can be viewed in the new Vimeo Vision OS app. That's a lot of Vision OS. Still though, I view that as really, really cool. I haven't actually watched these videos myself, except for the ones that I can of course see on the Quest, and they looked really, really cool. I don't have an iPhone or a Vision Pro, so there's a limit as to what I can actually view here. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night. If you guys like this one, please give it a like. If you disliked it, I guess this button works too, but let me know why down below. If you're not yet part of the community, check out the Discord and a Reddit down below where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys are amazing. Seriously, you are what makes these videos possible, so much love to you. And thank you to anyone else supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. As usual, if you want me to notify future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with you or ding my bell, and see you in the next video. Peace.